Okay, let's go ahead and move into our IDE and let's add this new controller code here for processing the form data and making those appropriate changes. So let's go ahead and move into Hello World controller. Let's expand the window here. And again, I always like to write a little comment just to kind of keep myself on track as far as what I need to do. So we're going to add a new controller method to read form data and also add data to the model. So that's kind of our game plan as far as what we need to do. So let's go ahead and define that method here. Let's shout, dude. We're going to shout in all caps. So we pass in those two parameters, the HTTP server request and also the model. And we're going to return hello world. All right, so let's just copy that at request mapping. And let's move down and let's paste it in right above our let's shout dude method. So we're going to change the request mapping path to process form version 2. So a unique path and we'll actually update our form to point to this path also. All right, so that's kind of the basic layout here for this controller method. But we still need to kind of fill in the blanks and do some stuff inside. So before I start writing code as far as what I need to do, I'll actually write some comments. Again, I love to keep myself on track here. So the first thing we need to do is read the request parameter from the HTML form. Then I need to basically convert that data to all uppercase because I want to shout. Okay. Then we'll actually create our message. So I'll say like, yo, dude. And then finally, I'm going to add that message to the model. So that's kind of the basic game plan of what I want to do here in this code. And it's very similar to what we had in the slides. So again, to read the form data, we simply say request get parameter, and we give the actual form field name of student name. And then we actually go through and we convert this data to all caps. So I say the name dot to uppercase. And then next I go through and I create the message. So I'll say result equals, and I'll say yo, and I'll concatenate it with the name. And then the important thing here is adding this to the model. So I'll say model dot add attribute. And I give the actual name, comma, value. So the name of the attribute is message and the value is result. So that's the information from the previous line that we just set up. And so that's kind of the main piece here, adding data to the model. So that's it for our method. So we have this new request mapping process form version 2. We take in some parameters. We read the form data, convert the names to uppercase, create a new message, and add that to the model. So this looks good so far.